Hey everyone, how's it going? Gabe here with the Ultimate Walleye Derby, Ultimate Salmon Derby. I got Courtney here with me also.
Hi everyone.
You guys hear us okay? See us all right? Who's been out fishing?
Probably not today.
I heard there was a few people out today.
Really?
Yeah. I actually had one of the customers call me and say he was out there today.
Really?
Yeah, this morning he was. So hopefully everyone's getting excited for Saturday. We're starting the Derby. Things are kicking off, so
Yeah.
exciting times.
Yeah, 3 more days. I guess 2.5 if you're considering midnight, right?
Yeah, so those of you that haven't bought your ticket yet, if you want to fish, we have that 48-hour rule where you can't weigh in a fish for 48 hours. So, I mean, tonight's kind of the cutoff for if you're fishing Saturday morning. I mean, technically you could buy it super early in the morning on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's 48-hour waiting period, so we hold firm to that rule.
Yes.
How's it going, Patrick? How you doing, Neil?
Yeah, sure is getting close.
So is everyone being secretive now? They want to win the Derby fish? Is no one talking about what they caught fish on? Or I see a lot less reports from the guys that they get on Facebook and
less pictures.
Yeah, less pictures. Yeah, there's a few different tournaments happening. So how you doing, Brady? Yeah. Brody, sorry. My eyes aren't the best. We'll give it another few minutes here. We got people joining still, so Neil's saying good. Hope you all are doing well. He's excited. We're excited too. We're excited to see how big the fish end up being.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's going to be interesting. I think the fish are going to be bigger this year than they were last year.
I hope so. I want to see some big ones.
Yeah, Dakota's saying catching a lot of big ones on the slow jig and minnow bite is doing well this year. So
nice. I mean, you had a good trolling bite.
I did, and then followed by a trip on the St. Clair River that wasn't that good for silverfish. Went out yesterday, struggled a little bit. The water's kind of cold up there. It's like the best water temps we saw were around 36, 37. So Sam Hall saying it's go time.
Yeah.
Don, time to go hunting again. Make sure you guys bought your fishing license, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's
April 1st.
Yeah, yesterday. And then make sure you got your Canadian license too. That renews in January. But
the big ones are over there, right? That's what they all say.
That's what the Americans say, and then the Canadians say the big ones are over here. So, all right. Well, let's get rolling here. The plan for tonight is our version of a captain's meeting. We call it the participants meeting. We're going to go through rules. We're going to talk about things that maybe you missed. We're going to try and highlight through the rules here and see what we can break out of here. If you guys have questions, stop us at any time. We'll try and answer the questions, but we're going to scroll through the rules here and just highlight some of the big ones. But make sure you read all of the rules, and we'll talk about eTournament after that. Make sure everyone's up and rolling on eTournament, and we'll do some more Q&A, and hopefully we'll get things going.
Yeah, I guess before we start, can everyone hear us okay?
Yeah, we got an okay.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. We're good, babe.
Yep.
All right.
Yep, we're all good. All right, so let's.
Move yours up a little bit.
Oh, is mine quiet?
Yeah.
All right, is that better? Hopefully that's better.
Mine's a little delayed, so I can't.
Well, I'm saying oh, there we go. Don saying good.
All right.
All right, good deal. I don't know what's going on with the lighting here, but that's all right. We'll get rolling here. You guys don't need to see my face anymore. All right, let's get rolling through the rules here. So let's start with boundaries. So obviously the Derby is from Tawas roughly to the south. So when we look at the out of bounds area, so the 44 degree, 19 minutes even, anything south of that with regards to Lake Huron. So all of Lake Huron below that longitudinal line. And then even though I know most of this area is not open right now, the Saginaw River to the split where the Tittabawassee and the Saginaw split. And then all of the St. Clair River, all of Lake St. Clair, all of the Detroit River, all of the Michigan waters of Erie, and then there is a sliver of water on the Canadian side. Basically, the waters north of 41 degrees, 56.957 minutes north. All the waters north of that, and the east boundary for the Canadian waters, Point Pelee. So if you guys are fishing any of the areas that are close to the boundaries, you can check the boundaries while you're in the eTournament app. You can look at our rules, make sure you guys check it out, make sure you guys have proper licenses, everything. I don't want anyone getting in trouble. All right, so we have 4 weekly derbies. The derbies start on April 5th, and they all end on May 4th at 8 p.m. through the 12th of April through the 18th of April. Week 3 is from the 19th of April through the 25th of April. And then week 4 is from the 26th of April through the 4th of May.
So pretty much it starts on Saturday. So every Saturday from April 5th until April 26th, it starts on Saturday. And then for the first 3 weeks goes until the Friday. So Saturday to Friday. And then the very last session, week 4, goes from Saturday all the way to the following Sunday. So you have 2 more days to fish.
Yeah, you got an extra weekend on the last week there.
Yep.
So, all right. Let's see.
And obviously the fish is walleye. Walleye is the only accepted fish for the Derby.
Yep. So basically you have to have a ticket, right? You have to be in possession of a ticket to fish with other people that have tickets, or you have to be covered under a boat ticket. So that's a big rule of ours. If someone buys a daily ticket and wants to go fishing tomorrow, they can fish with other people that have their tickets, but that person hasn't waited the 40 hasn't waited the 48 hours, so they can't weigh in a fish.
Right. So they bought a ticket for tomorrow. They can fish tomorrow with somebody, but they can't, their fish would be disqualified from being still able to weigh their fish in.
So that was a big thing we had questions about last year. In order to be a participant, you have to be a ticket holder. So only participants can fish with other participants. And in order to weigh in a fish, you have to wait 48 hours. So from weighing in a fish, but you don't want to disqualify everyone else on the boat, right? Everyone else has bought their tickets weeks ago or whatever it is. You can buy a daily or you can buy an individual, but you can't weigh in a fish for 48 hours.
No, you can still buy your ticket throughout the Derby. Don't forget, we still do weekly prize drawings. So we have prizes that started back in early February, goes till the end of December, that we just, for buying a Derby ticket, you get automatically entered into our drawings. And we have really awesome prize packs that are worth $250 a piece. And every single week, a participant gets one.
And then we have the $1,000 prize packs also every month. So yeah, there's a lot of advantages to buying an individual ticket. The dailies don't get in on all that. All right. So another thing that we need to talk about is obviously the use of eTournament. You have to use eTournament, or you have to use our buddy system. That's the only 2 ways that you can weigh in a fish with our Derby. So you're either using the buddy system or you're using eTournament. That's the 2 options. We'll get into the buddy system and all that here in a little bit. So you have to use the eTournament to take a picture of the fish. The picture must be taken after the fish is caught. We don't want that fish going in the live well and then 2 hours later a picture being taken. Make sure when that fish is caught, the picture's taken. Then a 24-hour timer starts. Once the picture is taken and submitted through eTournament, you have 24 hours to get it into one of our weigh stations. So let's go through our weigh stations real quick here. So starting from north to south, M65 up in Al Gray, Frank's in Linwood,
Alexander's Bait and Tackle and Seaboing. So that's pretty much the Saginaw area.
That's the Saginaw area.
Just those 3 weigh stations.
Anderson's Pro Bait in Port Huron, Jay's Marine in Port Huron, Hook One Bait and Tackle in Marine City, Sportsman's Direct in Harrison Township, Moe's and Big Moe's in Detroit, Dipnet Bait and Tackle in Ecorse, Wyandotte Marina in Wyandotte. Wyandotte Marina actually has a boat up. You can park your boat right there at the shack. So it's like a blue shed that they're weighing fish in. So you can boat up, weigh in a fish, and go back out fishing if you want. We have the Bait and Tackle box in Trenton. We have Jeff's Bait and Tackle just outside of Sterling State Park.
And it's the fish cleaning, Jeff's Fish Cleaning.
Yeah, Jeff's Fish
They
Cleaning.
have 2 locations, but the one right next to the state park.
Yep, the one just east of the entrance to the state park there. And then we have
Erie Party
the
Shop.
Erie Party Shop, Oliver's Pizza. They are our furthest most south weigh station. So make sure if you guys are planning on going to a weigh station to weigh in a fish, make sure you know the hours of your nearest weigh stations. I'd even give them a heads up that you're coming. Most of the weigh stations are very flexible. Make sure you know their hours. Some of the stations that are super busy, they're not going to weigh in a fish before a certain time of the day, and they won't weigh in a fish after a certain time of the day. So make sure you guys know what that is. You got 24 hours to weigh in your fish from the time you take a picture of it. So there should be no reason that you can't get through.
To see if there's any comments. Mine is slow with comments.
Yeah.
So everyone's still
oh
here,
yeah.
it's okay.
Mayhem Fishing is asking on the Canadian side. Yes, I can't believe I forgot. So LSC Pro Tackle on the Canadian side is a weigh station for us. David Bowman is saying, is it lagging for anyone? Can you guys hear us okay still? It's lagging.
Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. All right. Cool. If you can hear us.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to keep rolling. All right.
So now, do we want to just kind of touch on the eTournament itself?
Yeah.
Let's touch
on eTournament. So basically, there's 3 options with eTournament. All of them involve the use of eTournament. So if you're submitting a fish to us, eTournament has to be used. So option A, obviously, is you have a phone that works. The app downloads on your phone. You're all set up. You take a picture with the app. That's option A. Option B is our buddy system. So let's say your phone isn't compatible with eTournament. You got an old phone. You got something that it's not working with. You can use our buddy system. So what that means is your buddy is submitting the fish for you through eTournament. You need to be in that picture of the fish, right? So the person, if you're using the buddy system, you got to be in the picture. I also need a text message to the Derby number, 586-221-0664, or an email to the Derby saying that I'm fishing with so-and-so using the buddy system. So you need to announce yourself and tell us who you're fishing with. So, because if we get a submission, we need to know, the paperwork for the submission has to match the picture, and we look through all those registrations of who's fishing with who.
So also, if you're using the buddy system, let's just say your buddy is the one that catches the fish. Make sure that when you're taking the picture on eTournament that he is holding his fish. So, obviously, if there's somehow have a photo ID maybe available, or even in the comments say it's this person, just so we know whose fish that is.
Because if you guys happen to catch 2 trophies that day, we need to be able to differentiate who you guys are using the buddy system. We got to know whose fish is whose. So make sure you're diligent with regards to that.
Right. And same with children. So kids don't have to use the eTournament app. So it's up to their parent, guardian, whoever bought their ticket, who's out there fishing with them. You will do the same thing with the kids. You know, the kid reels in this big fish. Make sure you take a picture of the kid holding the fish, but it's up to the parent adult to complete the eTournament for them.
Okay.
I guess and then what was the next thing?
So the third option is obviously use another device. So you can use a tablet as long as your eTournament's all set up, the Wi-Fi set up, and everything's ready to go. Like we said before, eTournament doesn't need internet signal to operate. It uses GPS, and then it will dump the data when you get back. So let's say I'm using a tablet. I'm at the dock. I get everything all set up. I'm checked in. I take the tablet with me. I go out on the boat. I take whatever pictures. It'll show that it's submitted in offline mode. And then when you get back to the dock, you connect back to Wi-Fi, and it'll upload all of its stuff automatically. So same thing goes for if you're out in Lake Erie and you lose signal, or you're out somewhere where there is no signal where you're fishing, it'll still track GPS. It just needs you submit a fish, it'll show it was submitted in offline mode, and then it'll update once it pushes through.
Right.
So
might not be a bad idea that, especially if you do lose cell service on the water, when you get back to shore, there is a refresh button. It might not be a bad idea to hit the refresh just to make sure that your pictures got submitted.
Yeah, it'll show it offline. It'll show that the fish that it was submitted and the approximate length. So, and another thing with regards to the length in eTournament, it's an approximate length, right? We need, is it, a 26-inch fish or a 28-inch fish? Really, if you're good to the nearest half an inch, we're good. I mean, that's fine with us. So, we just need to be able to differentiate between fish that are in your picture. So if you submit it on eTournament and the fish, you said that the fish is 24 inches, and then you bring a fish that's 29 inches to the scales, we're obviously going to have some questions for you. So we don't want any issues there.
Right.
So
it's highly advised, take a picture of the fish that you want to weigh in. So just make sure you take pictures. And
you can submit as many fish as you want every day, right? So in eTournament, you can submit, if you catch 5 huge fish, my suggestion is submit all 5 through eTournament, but you only end up weighing one of those 5 at the weigh station. That's fine. What'll happen is we'll approve the one that you weighed in, and then we'll reject the other ones. So just make sure that you guys use the thing. If you get back to the dock and then you come, so we're very firm on that.
So one thing about eTournament is it's probably best that everyone downloads it and does a test submission to us just to verify that you have your app up and rolling. Last year we had participants that tried to register on the water. They couldn't do it because the cell service was bad. Make sure your app is ready to go before you go out on the water. Sign in, log in, make sure you're checked in, make sure you've done some practice test pictures, and you're confident in using your app. Because you don't want to struggle with the app when you have a big fish on the boat and then call us and say you need help. And, make sure you know how to use the app. And we're here to answer questions. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, if you watch the tutorial video that's on the YouTube link that we sent everybody, I mean, it pretty much explains how to do it. And we had a lot of people last year that said it was no problem. Yep. So but make sure, and that's one thing too, is before you go out on the boat, make sure you pull up the app and make sure you are checked in. That's one thing too, is you need to be checked into the app for it to work.
Okay. All right. So I think that covers eTournament. If you haven't gotten your code, make sure you reach out to us. Make sure you do your test submission, like Courtney said. And
yeah, so Michael, so with kids, so if you're fishing with your kid, obviously they have a ticket. When you're out there fishing with the kid and they're wheeling in their fish and they catch this big fish, you take a picture of the kid holding the fish. Obviously, I think there's a comment section, right, where you can write the name.
Yeah.
And then just hit submit, so we know that it's his fish or her fish.
Yeah. So Michael, kids don't have to be checked into eTournament. We don't expect that kids are going to have eTournament,
tablet, a cell
but
phone.
they need to be fishing with their legal guardian, and their legal guardian is responsible for them and their fish. Neil is asking, does my dad need to text you, or can I text you and say he is fishing with me? Either person, if you guys are using the buddy system, I just need the full names, first and last, and who's fishing with each other. Chad saying, when you submit your picture on eTournament, it will give you two options. As for your location, use precise. So that's the first time you go to use eTournament. It'll ask you precise or approximate, and make sure you use precise. What'll happen if you don't use precise, you run the risk of, if you're close to a boundary, which the edge of the river is a boundary, you may get a submission that shows you're out of bounds, right? And we won't be able to truly tell where you were. So make sure it's on precise. If you need help with that, reach out. What I suggest is do a test submission, and I can send you a screenshot of where you were at if you get it back from me and it says test submission successful, it'll be rejected, but it'll say test submission successful. That I already looked at it and it looks accurate. So,
all right, Glenn, yes, ask as many questions as you want. I'm here to help you guys and answer them.
Okay, I think we got all the questions. Michael, we answered his question. All right, let's keep rolling here. So the Derby resets. Excuse me. The Derby resets basically every week. So the first week ends on a Friday at 8 p.m. So any fish that we receive submissions for before 8 p.m. are on Friday, are part of the previous week. All of the weeks reset on Friday, except the last week resets, or it ends on Sunday at 8 p.m. So usually, be strategic about it. Okay. Let's see here. If you guys haven't, so we had a few people that got eTournament. They downloaded eTournament. They got the code from a buddy, but they didn't buy their ticket. So if you didn't pay us for a ticket, you don't have a ticket. So make sure that you went to our website, you bought a ticket, you have a confirmation with the receipt for the value of the ticket. If you just download the app and you got a code from a buddy or something, that doesn't mean that that you actually have a ticket to the Derby. So make sure you have a ticket to the Derby. Okay. So a child, what we consider a child, so is old. So they have to be old. That's the way the rules are written. So basically, until 4 or 5 at midnight, if you are under 18, before that point, then you fall in the kids category, which the kids are fishing for the same prizes as the adults, right? Top 5 every week, the 3 boat ticket prizes. Don't forget about the video of the week submissions. Send those, either post them to the Salmon and Walleye Derby news page on Facebook, or send them to us via email to info@theultimatesalmonderby.com. Those are great prizes. Yeah. 250. They're a voucher for a free pair of glasses. It's nice, worth about $250. Yeah. The Bahios are awesome glasses, and I know a lot of the kids on the salmon side got really into it. So
they were top-notch videos.
Yeah. So
music, and it was, I mean, they're on TikTok a lot, you can tell.
Yeah, you can win a prize, you know, just being out there, show us a cool video. So
yeah.
All right. If you are fishing with someone with a boat ticket, let's touch on this. So with a boat ticket, the captain has the option to put the fish in their name or the person who caught the fish. When we say the person who caught the fish, it's the person who's rod in hand when the fish was netted. So basically, if the captain is weighing in a fish in their name, they need to be there present at the weigh station when it gets weighed in. The captain does all of the eTournament submission for all the people that are on the boat. So if you're fishing under a boat ticket, the captain is the guy taking the eTournament pictures. You weighed in either the that's the one thing I wanted to touch on there. The captain can use their boat ticket as an individual ticket too. So let's just say I had a boat ticket. I went and fished a tournament with some buddies, not on my boat. I could take my boat ticket and use it as an individual on a buddy's boat. So
at least you're always covered.
Yeah. And that's only for the captain. All right. Let's see here. All right. So fishing from a boat, weigh-in, you guys, I think we covered the weigh-in process. We'll be announcing what weigh stations we'll be at, what days. So I'll get that schedule out here in the next 24 hours or so, what weigh stations we're going to be at on what days. Just so if you do want to come weigh in a fish with us at whatever weigh station we're at, we'll be floating around to a bunch of different ones. We're going to see where the most demand is. But we'll keep you guys posted on that front. Minimum fish length, 25 inches. So 25 inches is the minimum length. Even if the fish is a greater weight than another fish on the leaderboard, if it's not 25 inches, we're not taking it. So that's a hard, fast rule. Winning fish is by weight. If there's a tie, the first fish that was weighed in, so let's say we have two fish that are 10.08 pounds. The one that was weighed in earlier in the week, or the first one that was weighed in, is the one that wins the tiebreaker. So all right. We punch the gill plate on fish when we weigh them in. We will not accept a fish that has a hole in its gill plate. So that means that it went to a weigh station already. It was already weighed in. So be aware of that. We're watching for that.
Also, snagged fish.
Yeah. You know. We won't accept snagged fish. That'll be the judgment of Derby official. Ultimately, the weigh station will advise you if they feel it's snagged.
So
but if
snagged in the butt, snagged.
I mean, within reason, we're using stingers here, folks. So I know that, you know, in the head of the fish is common for the stinger to get hooked back in, or a plug, or, you know, if you're using a crankbait, you know, to be hooked in the head. But if it's, you know, in the back, in the, you know, in the butt, wherever it is on the tail, we're not going to accept it. If it looks like it's in bad shape, it looks like it's been snagged, we're not going to accept it. Whether you say you did it or not, if it looks snagged, it's going to be our call. We're going to not accept it. Okay. So when you go to the weigh station, let's explain how the weigh station process works. You go to the weigh station, you give the person weighing in your fish your ID on the scale, your name, your ID. They'll put the bin on the scale. They'll tear the scale so it'll read 0. They'll take a picture of the scale reading 0. This is all part of our weigh-in form. Then they'll take the fish, put the fish in the bin. They'll take another picture of the fish with the okay. Then the fish will get taken out of the bin. The participant can take a picture with it. We want a participant to take a picture with it in front of our banner, in front of the shop. So you take a picture with your fish. Then you need to fill out the rest of the entry form. So the entry form is going to ask you your eTournament PIN or ticket number. So you should have gotten your ticket via email from us, and you all should have eTournament PINs. So make sure that you know where to find either one of those before we even start fishing. If you haven't gotten your ticket, send us a message. We'll resend it via text or something like that, or email. We'll get you your ticket. Make sure you know where to locate your ticket, and your eTournament PIN should be when you go into the submit a fish portion. It'll show you.
Stays right on the top.
It stays on the top.
Yeah.
It'll say eTournament PIN. So make sure you guys can locate those two things. You're going to need it to weigh in fish. Then there's this list of questions. So those questions that we're asking are the questions that you could potentially be asked during a polygraph. If you're a first place winner, you will get polygraphed. If there's anything suspicious, you will get polygraphed. So not just first place winners. If we suspect anything suspicious, you're going to get polygraphed. So the list of questions that are there, answer them truthfully, because that's how you're going to get asked on the polygraph. Make sure you also include what you caught the fish on. We got to support all these bait companies that that are out there working hard to get you what you need to catch fish out on the river. Believe me, it's not a secret. If you have the bait, someone else has it too. Even the guys who get custom painted crankbaits, guaranteed, when the painter painted your bait, he painted a few for himself too. That's guaranteed. So just help these companies out. It helps with the marketing on their side. So and then make sure you sign the form, and when the weigh station employee will sign the form also, it'll be submitted. Make sure you get the confirmation that it was submitted. And because
it goes to your email.
Yeah, keep an eye on the tablet. Make sure everything looks right. If you got to look around and if you have a question on something, scroll back up. The employee will help you. But make sure it's a complete process. If there are any questions, you guys have the Derby phone number. The weigh stations have the Derby phone number. Make sure you guys call us. We'll be available.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see if there's any questions.
Yeah.
I guess mine.
Thad is asking about the mobile weigh station. We'll be making that announcement here in the next 24 hours. Thad. Patrick's saying support your local shops. Exactly. Yeah. Support your local shops. All right. Let's keep rolling here. I know this is it seems long, but we gotta talk about all this. Right. So
if you guys want to follow along, you can join and go to our rules on the Walleye Derby page on the website.
So when it comes to kids, obviously we're not going to polygraph kids. The parent, the legal guardian that is fishing with the kid while they're participating in the event, will be responsible for taking the polygraph for the kid. So if we do have a kid, and I hope we do, that wins one of the $15,000 or the $30,000 prizes, the legal guardian will be responsible for taking that polygraph. Okay. All right, I think we covered most of the big questions here. If you guys haven't looked at our sweepstakes rules, make sure you read through the sweepstakes. Some certificates towards captain's training. If you guys get a discount certificate from them, make sure you get onto the website under the prizes. There is there's a premier sweepstakes. Click on that. You can submit your name there if you didn't do it with when you bought your ticket.
Yeah, it's free.
It's free. It's free to ever get it. Just so. All right.
All right.
I think that covered most everything. Do you guys? No.
Yeah.
Just make sure you read the cheating part. I think we covered the big milestones with regards to cheating.
Right.
We have provisions if someone wants to petition someone else. It's all in the rules there. Make sure you read it. You guys are responsible for reading the rules. You clicked at least 2 or 3 times that you read the rules when you submitted to buy your ticket. So, all right. Make sure you check online. We'll be doing Facebook updates daily for fish that were caught, leaderboard updates, stuff like that. So make sure you guys jump on there. When we're at the weigh stations, I think we're gonna do some promotions, give away a handful of things. So we'll do next person to show up at the weigh station will get something. So keep your ears peeled for that. Watch it we'll be announcing that stuff on Facebook and stuff. So
like dad's comment.
Yeah. Let's see. Make sure you let them know if you plan on keeping the fish for taxidermy reason.
Yeah.
Yes, if it is a top fish, so we're keeping place fish, it will get dissected to make sure there's nothing inside of it. Or if we have suspicion of another fish that makes the leaderboard, we'll be doing the same thing for that. So make sure if you guys do want the fish, mounted, make sure you let us know. We can write it on the tag or let the weigh station employee know that it's taxidermy, right? Or you want it mounted or whatever it is, right? And we'll open up the fish in a different process. We'll cut across the back, across the ribs on the one side so that you get a good mount for the fish. So, and we'll take measurements and stuff for you. All right. Does the fish have to be alive for weigh-in? No, it does not. It doesn't have to be alive for weigh-in.
But it has to be fresh, remember, within 24 hours. So the weigh stations won't take a frozen fish, a fish that, you can tell has been alive or dead for a while. So make sure your fish is fresh.
Yep. Okay. So obviously, I guess let's bring this up. You guys got to realize that the longer it's, the more weight it's going to lose. So this is going to be a leading fish. I would say pack it in and run to the weigh station, because the sooner you get it to the weigh station, the less weight it's going to lose. So especially as the females start releasing their eggs, they lose weight fast. So I would say, either cut the fishing day short or whatever it is, but I would run that fish to the weigh station. That's just myself personally. Some people hung on to them. You don't want to be the guy that loses by 0.02 of a pound. When you bring them to the weigh station, they're dry and they're beat up. We're not going to take it. We can't validate that it's been, that it was caught 24 hours ago. We got to be able to look at the fish that's there in front of us and look at the eTournament picture and be able to tie the two together, right? If you bring us a male fish and the eTournament picture is a female fish, it's kind of, usually you can tell the difference between the two. The males are going to be smaller and longer. That's probably not a good example, but the fish, we got to be able to tie the two together. So take care of your fish. All right. let's see. Any other questions, guys? Has everyone gotten their eTournament pins? Everyone's ready to go. I know I got probably I got a handful of test submissions, but we got some good dog pictures and cat pictures. So
yeah,
make sure you guys get us all those submissions, please. Test submissions. We'll respond within, let's say within 12 hours. We'll try and get that. I got some in the middle of the night that I didn't respond till the next morning. So
which is understandable.
Yeah.
It's honestly just to make it easier for everybody. Like I said, once you're comfortable with the app, you've taken some pictures, played around with it, it shouldn't be a big problem at all while you're on the water. But just don't forget to take the picture of the fish. Do I need a password? Can't remember last year's.
Yes.
Yeah, Don, make sure you,
So there's, Don, you can go in and say, resend my password or, recover my password in the app. So when you go to log in, make sure you're up and rolling, before you start fishing. I know you're going to be out there every day. Joe is saying, my wife had the exact situation last year. Her fish was losing eggs while trying to weigh it. Thankfully, it didn't matter that fish, but it definitely can happen. Yeah, take care of them. Take care of the fish. Get them into the weigh station as soon as you can.
Wind up Marina. Remember how they covered in eggs?
Yeah, they put new flooring in the shack where we're weighing fish.
Covered everywhere.
Yeah. All right. So Sam Hall saying, so when fishing on a boat ticket, does everyone have to check in or just the captain? Just the captain's checking in. So we'll deal with the captain when it comes to a boat ticket. So eTournament, you're fishing on a charter, you're fishing with a tournament guy, you're fishing with a recreational guy that has a boat ticket. The captain's responsible for everyone on the boat, just like they bought the ticket for everyone on the boat. So
now, what do you want if you have a guy who already has a ticket, is fishing with his buddy that has a boat ticket? Both guys check in?
I mean, if you're planning on submitting a fish on your individual ticket, you need to be checked in or using the buddy system. If you're fishing under a boat ticket, the captain needs to be checked in and running the app. So that's one thing we should talk about. My suggestion is every morning before you leave the dock, make sure you at least open eTournament, make sure that you're checked in. If you click on tournament day and you see that you're, the Ultimate Walleye Derby, and you see that it is checked in, you're good to go. So, we had sometimes I think we had a situation last year where someone did a phone update or something along those lines, or they reset their phone and they downloaded eTournament. And just make sure that you have eTournament. It's there, it's running in the background. So if that's clear for everyone.
Well, and so in the app, look at
and be safe, everyone.
Yes.
It's a fish is not worth losing your life over. Make sure that you got your safety gear, you got, invest in an ePerb, great investment. That's the only thing that'll save you in this cold water. The coast, it's a direct communication to the Coast Guard.
Life jacket.
Even the life jacket, if you're floating around for, more than 15, 20 minutes, your chances are not very good. But the ePerb, the Coast Guard is on their way as soon as they get that signal. So make sure it's something good to look into. It's a couple $100. All right. Jason is saying, will lie detector ask if live bait was brought into Canada? The questions on the questionnaire don't include the live bait brought into Canada. I know that's a gray area right now, and it depends on your CO that stops you. There's some ambiguity in their rules. It doesn't doesn't ask that question.
Yeah, we just ask that you obey the DNR rules.
And maybe that's a screenshot. We'll post that on Facebook, and we'll post it. Okay.
Yeah. So with the weigh stations, honestly, give them a call. Let them know that you're coming in. Let them ask. It might not be a good time for them to weigh your fish in. Unfortunately, they are still a business. They might have lines at the door. A friendly call to your local weigh station just to give them a heads up so they know that you're coming.
Okay, so Chad is asking, is there a discount for entering both walleye and salmon? If not, does it make sense to enter each boat you'll be fishing out of? So we do have a discount, Chad. It's 10% off of each of the tickets if you buy a combo ticket. So basically, if let's just say the situation, we had someone, their boat broke down, they ended up buying another boat. If you guys send me a second registration, I'll change the if it shows that it's the same person owns the same boat, the boat tickets are not transferable from one person to another. So if you send me 2 registrations, whatever it is, showing me that you own both boats, we'll switch it over for the salmon side of things. So take advantage of the 10% off. That's not a problem. So if you got a walleye boat, salmon boat, we'll work with you. All right. Good questions, guys. Good questions. And if you have questions after we're done with this live stream, just send them to us. Send them to the info at the ultimate salmonderby.com.
Facebook Messenger. So
yep,
it's in.
Yep. Also, when we're out and about, we'll have Derby apparel with us. So if you guys want hats, shirts, we'll have all that stuff with us. You guys can buy. What else am I missing here? Like I said, we'll be doing some giveaways. So stay posted on Facebook. Keep an eye on us. We'll be doing giveaways as we go around to all these different weigh stations.
Yeah. Mobile weigh station discussed tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the mobile weigh station tomorrow. And I guess we'll go from there. I guess if there's no more questions, I appreciate it, everyone.
For more minutes.
Yeah, we'll give it another minute or two here.
I'm still waiting for Glenn's question. I don't think I saw any.
And Don, if you need help walking through to get reset, give me a call. We'll help you through that. I don't see any more here. Michael says, thank you guys. Thank you to everyone that's a part of this. I keep telling everyone I want this to grow. I would love that this be a $50,000 every week. We make it better and better. So Thad, will the mobile weigh station be at the MWT? That's what can
sleep. No, we do not sleep, Larry.
Neil is saying, does a week 1 fish hold up the 4 weeks? So if it is, let's just say it's a 14-pound fish and it wins week 1, then we reset week 2, reset week 3, reset week 4, and it makes it all the way through, and it's still the biggest fish overall. What happens is you take the grand prize, and the other 3 weeks take the 15 grand. So if it makes it through the whole time and it's the biggest overall, it gets the grand prize.
Right, but no fish weights transfer from one week to another. Every week it zeroes out the scales. So you're just competing against fish for that week.
Neil is saying, where do you get the eTournament pin number? Yes, it's on the ticket after you pay. So if you click view my ticket, there's like a hyperlink to see your ticket. You'll see the eTournament pin there. You'll see a link to a YouTube video. If you still are having trouble, Neil, reach out to us. We'll help you through it. I don't want to announce it here just because we pay per subscription for eTournament, and on top of that, I want to make sure that everyone that has eTournament has a ticket. So if you buy your ticket first, we're guaranteed that it's all going to work out well. Mike Pitts saying weigh station around Saginaw Bay. So we have 3 of them: M65 Bait in Al Gray, Frank's in Linwood, and Alexander's in Sebawing. Those are the 3 weigh stations we have around Saginaw Bay. All right. I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. I don't know if you are. It's been a lot of hard work to get here. It seems like the walleye one, after we do the first show in January, it really cranks. It comes on fast.
Oh yeah, it hits.
Yeah. So we're excited to see everyone. You know, even if you don't have a fish, you see that we're at a weigh station, stop in, say hi.
Sure.
You know, we'll have things like stickers and things like that with us. So make sure you guys reach out to us. You know, stop by, say hi. We'd love to meet every one of you.
Definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it looks like thank you guys for on this thing. If you got a local weigh station that you want involved, reach out to them, you know, and ask them to get involved with us. So we try not, as long as they're qualified, you know, someone that can identify fish, that can tell whether it's a fresh fish, old fish, you know, those are kind of the requirements. We'll take them a scale. So
good hours, obviously open.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric Gabriel says, thanks for a great derby. Thank you, Eric.
Yes.
Eric was
a big winner.
He was our big winner last year.
Yeah.
So, if you still have the boat, I want to go for a ride.
Yeah.
When you got some time.
I like that boat.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome, guys. Thank you. We appreciate everyone's time.
Everyone.
We'll talk to you later. Thank you.